Let's ride and rank every ride at Epcot. Hello, magical humans. We are in Epcot today to kick off our Ultimate Ride and Rank Challenge series. In this series, I'm going to ride and rank every single ride park by park. Today, we are in Epcot to kick off our series, and we are going to try to ride every single attraction in one day. So let's not waste any time. Let's go.
Please stand clear of the doors.
We've got a big challenge in front of us today because we are trying to do all of the rides at Epcot in one day. Some rides are extremely popular with long waits, like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and Frozen Ever After. But don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm going to share the best tips throughout our day to help you ride them with minimal lines. As a heads up, this challenge is about the rides, and I won't include shows or movies like American Adventure or Canada Far and Wide today. I'm going to cover the 11 actual rides at Epcot. I'm pulling out my Disney Fast Walk for this one, so let's go. Welcome to Mexico. Tucked inside an Aztec pyramid of the Mexico Pavilion is one of Epcot's hidden gems, the Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the Three Caballeros. This attraction is a boat ride that whisks you away to a lively, lantern-lit Mexican marketplace. But this isn't just any scenic cruise. Donald Duck has gone missing south of the border, and it's up to Panchito and Jose to track him down. You will float by vibrant streets, lively fiestas, and even a smoking volcano, all while enjoying a perfect mix of chaos, comedy, and catchy tunes. This ride has a classic Disney charm, a little bit of mayhem, and is fun for all ages, and there's no height requirement. One of the best things about Grand Fiesta Tour is that it's typically a walk-on or a very short wait. Wait times typically average around 5 to 15 minutes during most times of the year. However, you will see it creep up during peak seasons or when other rides at Epcot go down. There isn't a need to rope drop it or save it for the end of the night. Just hop on in whenever you need a break from the crowds, some AC, or just a little bit more Donald Duck in your day. But where will it rank? Let's find out. Now that we have officially found Donald and completed the Grand Fiesta Tour, let's talk a little bit about how the rating systems are going to work. I will first score each ride based upon the average Disney guest. So essentially, the rating will be how high I feel like it should be on the must-do scale for anyone's day at Epcot that's just an average guest. At the end of the video, I'm going to share my personal ranking scale, and that scale is going to take into account things like nostalgia and little details and anything else that makes me like an attraction more than I probably should. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around to the end of the video because that ranking scale is going to be completely different from the rankings I'm sharing for the average guest, and I think it's going to surprise you. All right, now that we've covered how the rating system is going to work, let's go ahead and dive in and talk about my rating for the Grand Fiesta Tour. This ride is the perfect little escape. It's charming, gentle, and doesn't have any scary or intense moments. You get to enjoy bright colors, fun details, and it's really relaxing. It's great if you need a breather from the Florida heat, and I love that it's almost always a walk-on. On the objective rating scale, I'm giving it a solid 5 out of 10. It's not a must-do for everyone, but it is a nice, relaxing way to take a break. If you're upset with the score, you're gonna have to let it go because we're heading to Norway to ride Frozen Ever After. Well, welcome to Arendelle, where the air is filled with enchantment and adventure. Frozen Ever After is a whimsical boat ride that whisks you away to the snowy wonderland of Arendelle aboard an ancient Nordic vessel. Along the way, you'll sing along to beloved Frozen tunes and wave to familiar faces like Anna, Elsa, Olaf, and more. There is no height requirement, so everyone in your family can ride it, but this ride does have a few surprises. There's a moment where your boat glides backwards before a small drop, which might startle little ones. Consider this your heads up. Oh, and fair warning, there's a solid chance that you'll get wet. Actually, let's be real, your butt will get wet, so maybe don't wear those light colored pants. The queue for Frozen Ever After is absolutely adorable, and you will have plenty of time to admire it because the wait times regularly hit 70+ minutes all day long. If you want to avoid standing in Arendelle for what feels like forever, consider rope dropping this ride or riding it at the end of the night, if you're okay with skipping the fireworks show Luminous, of course. Another option is to buy Lightning Lane, and if you do that, you definitely want to prioritize this ride and consider making it your first Tier 1 selection. Whatever you do, just know that Elsa will not be letting the wait times go down for this attraction anytime soon, so plan wisely. All right, it's time to set sail for Arendelle. Let's go and see how this ride ranks.
Do you want to build a snowman? Very much like today, Anna saved her sister with an unselfish act of true love and formed a frozen heart. Finally do what frozen things do in summer!
This ride is a Frozen fan favorite, and for good reason. It is an adorable and fun way to visit Arendelle so you can let it go like never before. On the objective must-do scale, I am giving this ride a 9 out of 10. It is a must-do for any Frozen fan. Now that we've sailed through Arendelle, let's scurry over to France to see where Remy's Ratatouille adventure ranks. Bonjour from France! Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a 4D trackless dark ride based on the Disney and Pixar film Ratatouille, which makes it a recipe for excitement. As an honorary rat, you ride in a rat-shaped ride vehicle, which is one of the cutest things I have ever seen. There is no height requirement for this ride, making it a great fit for all ages. What could be more fun? This ride uses a mix of screens and massive props to make it feel like you've shrunk down to Chef Remy's size. You will zip through Gaston's kitchen, dining room, and even the walls of the restaurant. It's a multi-sensory experience that will make you feel like you are really there. From the smells of fresh baguettes to the heat of the oven and the misty water from the mop, it's like being a part of the Ratatouille movie, and the ride is packed with adorable movie details. With all of these incredible details bringing Remy's world to life, it's no wonder that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a fan favorite at Epcot. The wait times are almost always 70+ minutes all day long. If you want to experience it without feeling like a rat caught in a crowd, here's the best time to ride. Try rope dropping from International Gateway. Otherwise, you're going to have to walk all the way through the park with a high wait time by the time you get there. It's also a solid option at the end of the night if you're okay with skipping fireworks. There's also a single rider line that is available if you don't mind being separated from your party, but they do close the single rider line early, so don't wait too late if you plan on using this option. This ride also frequently goes down because of the trackless technology. If someone drops something on the track, they have to shut down the whole ride to get it, and then they have to reset the whole thing, so it usually happens multiple times per day. However, if you are lucky enough to catch it right after a restart, you'll be in for a short wait, so keep an eye on the wait times throughout the day. If you're using Lightning Lane, consider booking this one as your first Tier 1 ride, as it fills up faster than Remy running through Gaston's kitchen. It's time to shrink down to the size of a rat to see if Remy can cook up a top tier attraction or if this one's a recipe for disaster.
That's it!
It's time to dish out the rankings for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This ride is as delightful as a perfectly plated dish. It is adorable, immersive, and full of Ratatouille magic. Remy really whisks you into his world, and I love every little detail. One important note about this ride is if you are prone to motion sickness, you might have an issue. It might make you feel a little bit dizzy, or it might stir up a little bit of stomach soup. I am prone to motion sickness myself, and it does make me a little bit dizzy, but it is manageable for whatever it's worth. I'm gonna rate this ride a 8 out of 10, just a whisker below Frozen Ever After, primarily because of the frequent downtimes and the motion sickness elements, but I do think it is a must-do attraction for any little chef, and you should definitely do it during your EPCOT day. Let's trade in our rat-sized adventures for an intergalactic mission. Let's head over to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and see if this ride truly rocks. We have officially made it to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and our adventure is about to get kicked into hyperdrive. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is an intergalactic chase through space with all of your favorite characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. This thrilling roller coaster has a reverse launch, and it's one of the largest fully enclosed coasters in the world. The coaster rotates 360 degrees so you can focus on the action. The ride can be different every time you ride it, since it rotates between 6 different classic song possibilities. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is the hottest ride in the galaxy. It is the newest and most popular attraction at EPCOT, and it's not uncommon for it to blast above an 85-minute wait all day long. If you are staying at a Disney resort, I recommend taking advantage of the early entry and going straight to this ride before the line grows into a cosmic mess. You can also buy a Lightning Lane single pass for this attraction, and it is well worth it. It will save you a lot of time. Or, if you don't mind a late night mission, you can wait until the end of the night. The wait time will still be long, but once the park closes and the remainder of the Lightning Lane guests get through the line, it tends to move a lot faster than the posted wait. All right, strap in. It's time to save the galaxy.
Walk onto your vehicle.
We'll be right behind you.
Nothing to worry about.
Unless we cannot stop this unusually large man, then you're likely doomed.
Rex!
Good luck. You gotta need it.
Boys, no one's gonna stop rock and roll from existing.
What have we done?
I think we should be back.
Got the generator.
It's about time.
Of course it is about time. Have you not been paying attention? We haven't contained, but not for long. Our moves would have been perfect.
Yeah, well, nobody's perfect.
It's EPCOT.
That is not a word.
Sure is. Stands for every person comes out tired. Of the galaxy.
We have no room in our ship for you, Roger.
Drax, it's an honorary title. They're not coming with us.
I see. It is meaningless. Well then, welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mission complete. That was an awesome mix of thrills and chaos. Let's talk about where it falls in the rankings. This ride is packed with the right amount of thrills. It doesn't go upside down, but the reverse launch, the rotating ride vehicles, and the feeling of flying through space really add to the overall experience. The coaster is also incredibly smooth. I have never been on anything else like it ever. Because the ride vehicles do rotate, there is a motion sickness warning for this attraction. For whatever reason, it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's because of how smooth the coaster is, but it does bother a lot of people, so consider yourself warned. The soundtrack also adds a lot to the overall experience. The songs that Disney chose for this attraction are absolute perfection, and honestly, it does make every single ride feel truly unique. This ride is an easy 10 out of 10 must-do experience for me, and I highly recommend that you do it if you are looking for a family-friendly thrill attraction for your day at EPCOT. Now that we have successfully saved the galaxy, it's time for our next mission. Literally, our next stop is Mission Space. All right, space travelers, we have officially arrived at Mission Space. Mission Space is an incredibly realistic simulator that puts you into astronaut training and sends you into space on a mission. Disney worked with NASA to develop the technology for this attraction, and it's been said by many astronauts that it's the closest they've ever felt to going into space besides, actually going into space. When this attraction debuted, there was only one version of the attraction, and it was so intense that it became the first Disney World attraction to become equipped with barf bags and have their own custodial team station to the building because so many people were getting sick on it, and they still do. Since then, they have made two different versions of the mission. You have the original mission, which is the more intense orange mission, which sends you to Mars, and then you have the less intense green mission, which sends you on a loop around Earth. Mission Space rarely experiences turbulence when it comes to wait times. You will often find it at 15 minutes or less throughout the day. So if you're ready for liftoff, chances are you won't be waiting long for your next mission. I did the orange mission recently, and I have a video to prove it. I'll link it in the corner if you're curious and want to watch that side of the mission, but I definitely do not have the courage to do that one again. It made me extremely ill. So I'm going to try the green side today. I've actually never tried the green side before, so it will be kind of interesting to compare the two since green is supposed to be a little bit less intense. All right, now that we have all of the mission details, let's go ahead and buckle in and prepare for launch. Green mission, here we come.
If you are prone to motion sickness or made uncomfortable by enclosed dark spaces, simulators, or spinning, you may exit the flight training area now.
Then reach up and pull down on the restraint.
Capcom, to Mars X2.
Mission control, the tower is clear. They're all yours.
Your flight path today is taking you across the United States, past the Grand Canyon, and leaving the continent at San Francisco. Okay, listen up, team. Change of plans. It's going to be a challenging approach, and we'll need all of you working together. Right. Left. Back to center. Hold it steady.
They're coming in too hot.
Hold back. Mission accomplished. Good work, team.
Now that our mission is complete, it is time to debrief and to rank Mission Space. I'm going to take both the orange side and the green side into account for my rankings. Mission Space has a reputation for being an out-of-this-world attraction, but not in a good way. And now that I've ridden both sides, I can see why. The green side is less intense, but it will probably still make you dizzy if you're prone to motion sickness or even worse, like truly ill, which nobody wants at the end of the day. A lot of people say that Mission Space is the worst attraction in all of Walt Disney World, and I don't think they're wrong, if I'm being honest. I think it's really cool that NASA was involved in creating this attraction, but at the end of the day, you're just kind of sitting in a capsule and staring at a screen, and there's really no wow factor about it. I would give this attraction a 0 out of 10, but in the spirit of optimism, I'm sure somebody out there likes it, so I'll give it a 2 out of 10. After that crazy mission, I think we need a change of pace, and one that does not put us in a tiny capsule where we are spinning. So let's shift gears and head over to another EPCOT favorite, Test Track. It's gonna put us in the driver's seat, so sounds nice. We have made it to Test Track, but as you can see from the construction walls behind me, it is currently closed for a major reimagining. Luckily for us, it's set to reopen sometime this year, so we have something fun to look forward to. While Disney is busy fine-tuning the future of this attraction, let's throw into reverse and talk about why it has always been a fan favorite. For those of you who have not been on Test Track before, imagine this. You're cruising down the highway and you're like, you know what this road needs? More neon lights and maybe a few heart-stopping sudden stops. Boom. That is Test Track in a nutshell. When it first opened, Test Track was all about you, the guest, being the ultimate test dummy in a high-speed car simulation. In 2012, Disney gave it a major makeover, turning it into something straight out of Tron. You actually got to design your own car while you were in line, and then you got to race race against other guests-designed vehicles once you were strapped in and speeding around the track. It was like a high-tech car showdown. Who doesn't love that? The Tron-inspired update got some pretty mixed reactions from guests. Some loved it, some not so much. But hey, I always thought it was fun. Disney said the Imagineers are going back to their roots, pulling inspiration from the original World of Motion to bring back that feeling of optimism with the new version of Test Track. Sounds promising, right? I would love to rank Test Track, but without being able to see what's under the hood of the new version, my review is stuck in neutral. Let's hope that it's a turbocharged upgrade. You are definitely going to want to subscribe because when the shiny new version opens, I will be here to cover it all with you and I will take you along for the ride. Let's head over to the Land Pavilion where 2 more classic attractions are awaiting their spots on the leaderboard. Up first is Soarin' Around the World. This ride is basically your chance to hang glide over the most iconic places on Earth, minus the whole learning how to hang glide part. It's one of the most popular rides at Disney World, and for good reason. Imagine feeling the wind in your hair while you take in stunning sights and get hit with a wave of smells. Yes, smells. From fresh grass to salty ocean breeze to the surprisingly delightful scent of fresh dirt, it's a multi-sensory adventure. You'll be seated in a ride vehicle that lifts you right in front of an IMAX dome screen, and then it's off to fly over world-famous destinations. The best part, the scents and the soundtrack make you feel like you're really there, cruising over everything from the pyramids to the Great Wall of China. Just a heads up, if you're in the 2nd or 3rd row, you might actually get a totally unique view of someone's feet dangling above you, and if they're rocking flip-flops, those are coming off, so don't be surprised if you get a few barefoot sightings during your flight. If you like trivia, and who doesn't love a good challenge, Soarin' has you covered. You can play the Soarin' Challenge through the Play Disney Parks app, testing your travel knowledge with questions about geography, food, languages, and more. And it's totally free, so you might as well flex that trivia brain power. The best time to take flight on Soarin' is usually in the first hour the park is open or after 6 p.m. Wait times can have a bit of a roller coaster effect throughout the day, but if you can catch it when the line is 30 minutes or less, that's usually a good time to ride it. Now that we have the best time to soar all figured out, it is time to ride. Soarin' to Tower, we're ready for takeoff. Now that we have soared through the skies, it's time to land and see where Soarin' lands on our must-do scale. I really do love how smoothly you soar through the sky on that attraction. I also love that your feet dangle. I feel like it makes it really unique. It makes it feel like you're truly hang gliding. You really can't beat the beautiful visuals, the epic soundtrack, and of course the amazing smells. All of that just adds to the overall experience. And you have to also give it to Soarin' because it's withstood the test of time, and you can't say that for every attraction. So definitely gets a gold star in that category as well. Even though Soarin' isn't the most thrilling attraction at Epcot, I still feel like it is a lot of fun, and magic is obviously delivered with every flight. So for all of those reasons, I'm giving Soarin' a very solid 7 out of 10 on the must-do scale. I feel like it's definitely worth adding to your flight plan. Soarin' helped us get a bird's eye view of the world, but now it is time to get a ground level view of the land and see how Disney is helping shape the future of farming. Living with the Land is a 14-minute boat journey that's half dark ride and half tour through Epcot's working greenhouses. The ride will teach you all about Disney's innovative growing methods and fish farming techniques, all while exploring the history of human impact on our planet. It's like a lesson in sustainability, but with way less homework. One of the coolest parts is the fresh produce and fish grown here actually end up in Disney's restaurants and festival booths here at Epcot. Living with the land is usually a smooth sailing experience with low wait times, but the line can start sprouting after the first hour the park is open. Like Soarin', the crowds tend to thin out after 6 p.m. If you see a wait time of 15 minutes or less, that's your green light to hop aboard. Let's head inside so we can set sail and see what it's like to truly be living with the land.
Oxygen, food, medicine, and other elements essential to our lives. Welcome to our living laboratory, where scientists from EPCOT and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are exploring innovative ways to produce bountiful harvests now and into the future. Normal, tilapia, bass, and catfish, like the ones you see here, are 3 of the more popular crops raised by fish farmers. Our small fish farm produces nearly 5,000 pounds of fish each year to serve to restaurants around Walt Disney World. This technique precisely controls and recycles water and nutrients. With it, we can produce over 27,000 heads of lettuce a year in this one small area. Only then will we truly be living with the land.
Now that we have floated through the future of farming, let's see where living with the land plants itself on my must-do scale. If you love plants, gardening, or sustainable agriculture, you will love this ride. It is a rarity because it is 15 minutes long and it's in the air conditioning, which is great. There aren't many rides that long at Disney, so it's a great extended way to get out of the heat. But as much as it pains my Disney loving heart to say this, I have to set nostalgia aside and be honest, this ride is not for everybody. If you don't like slow-moving boat rides with educational narration, you may find this ride more snooze-worthy than seat-worthy. So, for that reason, I have to give it a 4 out of 10. It breaks my heart to say it, but it just has to be done. I would say it's more of a nice to do versus a must do, but it's a great way to get out of the heat. And if you have the time, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's time to let our imaginations run wild, so let's head to our next ride. We have arrived at one of Disney's most controversial rides, Journey into Imagination with Figment. Seriously, people either love or hate this attraction. There is no in between. It sparks more controversy than if pineapple belongs on pizza. Inside the Imagination Institute, you will meet our very serious host, Dr. Nigel Channing. He is ready to take us on an educational, totally controlled tour through the 5 senses. But Figment, the mischievous purple dragon, has other plans, and let's just say things get chaotic. You can expect mind-bending illusions, your world to be turned upside down, and an unforgettable moment in the smell lab where Figment literally stinks up the place. Don't worry, the skunk smell doesn't linger too long. My favorite part is when Dr. Channing's face gets hauntingly projected onto the moon. It's unhinged, it's iconic, and it's art. This ride is a total wild card. Kids will either adore it or will be mildly traumatized. After the ride, you'll step into ImageWorks, the What If Labs, a sensory-driven play area perfect for little ones to explore. And if you want to meet Figment himself, you're in luck. Just check the My Disney Experience app for his schedule because he clocks out early and he is never available in the evenings. A dragon has to rest, I guess. So, is this ride a whimsical classic or a fever dream gone wrong? That's for you to decide. You can usually ride Journey into Imagination with Figment at any time because it rarely has a long wait. Sadly, not everyone appreciates a good spark of imagination. If you see the wait time over 15 minutes, you might consider waiting to ride it later in the day because it will likely drop unless it's a peak crowd day. All aboard! It's time for our imaginations to run wild. Let's see what's in store.
Welcome to our special drive-through open house.
There's sight, sound, smell, touch, coochie-coochie-coo, and taste. Taste my chicken. Can I go? Please, please, please.
So, let's begin by using the eye chart to test your vision. Now, all together, if you would please read line 3 and hit.
With F-I-G-M-E-N-T, you can see things differently. So let the good times roll. Woohoo! You win 1 cent.
Don't! Oh. is going on? You're turning this entire open house upside down.
Upside down? Now you're talking. That's the best idea you had all day.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation.
Well, that was a zany ride through the world of imagination. Let's talk about where it lands on our must-do scale. Journey into Imagination with Figment is the perfect ride if you are looking for something that is whimsical, fun, and family-friendly. A lot of die-hard Disney fans like myself have a lot of nostalgia for both Figment and for the actual ride. The reasons are deep, the history is long. There even used to be a much better version of the original attraction here at Epcot that got removed, but there's a lot of drama involved with that, so I'll save you the saga details today. As much as it hurts my Figment loving heart to say this, I have to rate this attraction a 4 out of 10. The reason for that is because if you don't have nostalgia for Figment or for the ride, you will probably find the ride outdated, potentially a little bit weird, maybe a little bit boring. Although I can't relate, I can understand. Plus, who knows, you might end up falling in love with the little purple dragon, and you might also become part of the official Figment fan club. After our whimsical journey with Figment, it's time to make a splash and dive into our next ride. The Seas with Nemo and Friends is a fantastic adventure where you go under the sea without getting wet on a gentle dark ride based on Disney and Pixar's Finding Nemo, which finds Nemo lost again. You board a clam-mobile and descend slowly below the waves where Nemo's friends float through brightly colored coral reefs. You will dodge stinging jellyfish, underwater mines, and a toothy anglerfish and Bruce the shark. My favorite part is when you get to catch a ride on the righteous East Australian current with the Crush Man himself and his little dude, Squirt. After the ride, you can get up close and personal with even more ocean friends in the sea base area. You can even find sea turtles, reef fish, rays, sharks, and more swimming through the 5.7 million gallon habitat. It's one of the largest man-made ocean environments on the planet, and it's home to thousands of sea animals. The wait time for this Seas with Nemo and Friends rarely has a high wait time. You might see a slight spike in the late morning and early afternoon, but it always goes back down in the evening. If the wait is 15 minutes or less, it's a great time to ride. All right, enough fish talk. Let's dive into the Seas with Nemo and his friends.
Nemo, where are you?
Mr. Ray, we can't explore without Nemo.
I'm sure we'll see him any minute now.
Nemo!
Nemo, where are you, Nemo?
Who's Nemo?
He's my son. You know that.
I do.
We went on a huge adventure together. Jellyfish.
All right, Mr. Smarty Pants.
Stop playing games. Nemo, why didn't you drop by for a little bite?
That was a fantastic journey. Now let's see where that ride splashes on my must-do rankings. The Seas with Nemo and Friends is a charming ride, especially if you are a fan of Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. My personal favorite part is at the end when the characters get projected into the aquariums with the other fish and sharks so you can see them all swimming together. That being said, there's nothing particularly groundbreaking or unique about this attraction, so I have to rank it a 4 out of 10 on my must-do scale. I would say it's a great option if you have the time or if you have little ones, but it's definitely not a must-do for everyone. The Seas with Nemo and Friends was a splash of fun, but now it's time to journey through time and space in Epcot's most iconic attraction. Welcome to the giant golf ball. Okay, technically it's Spaceship Earth, the iconic geodesic sphere that is Epcot's centerpiece. One fun fact is that if Spaceship Earth were a golf ball, the golfer would need to be 1 mile tall. Talk about a power swing. Inside the legendary sphere, you'll find a ride called Spaceship Earth. This ride is a 16-minute journey through the history of human communication, from cave paintings to computers, narrated by none other than Dame Judi Dench. Think of it as a slow-moving time machine filled with animatronics, sets, nostalgia, and just the right amount of dim lighting to make you question if it's an educational experience or a great place to take a nap. maybe both. As you begin your journey through time and space, a screen in front of you snaps a quick photo, so don't blink, or you might end up looking like a blurry ghost from the Stone Age. Then, during the descent, your screen magically comes to life, asking you to make some big life decisions about your future. Want to live underwater? Travel to space? Retire in a high-tech utopia? It's all up to you. The best part? Your face gets hilariously inserted into the animation. Well, most of your face. Let's just say the camera tech has been around for a while, so don't be surprised if it crops out half your head or gives you an accidental Picasso makeover. But hey, that just adds to the old school charm, right? When you get off of Spaceship Earth, there's an interactive play area called Project Tomorrow that is packed with fun, futuristic games that little ones will love, but more importantly, there is a wonder of Walt Disney World, the famous bubblegum wall. Don't forget to take a quick selfie in front of it. Many people tend to rush to Spaceship Earth in the morning because it's the first ride they see when they enter the front of the park. But I'm going to give you a little grand and miraculous wait time hack. The wait times usually start dropping around 2 p.m. for the rest of the night. The golden wait time for this ride is 15 minutes or less for most times of the year, so wait until the time drops to ride it. Don't forget to thank the Phoenicians for this genius strategy. It's time to begin our time-traveling journey. Let's go get on Spaceship Earth, and then we'll come back and rank the ride.
We are alone, struggling to survive, until we learn to communicate with one another. Now we can hunt as a team, and survive together. It takes 15,000 years to come up with the next bright idea, recording our knowledge on cave walls. Remember how easy it was to learn your ABCs? Thank the Phoenicians. They invented them. And the great library of Alexandria in Egypt is burned. Much of our learning is destroyed, lost forever. Or so we think.
Congratulate this inspirational athlete. It's your story of 19. Yes, Owen placed American proud in the whole gold medals at the 1936 Olympics.
Our spaceship Earth. Let's have some fun creating the future, shall we?
The end. Or should I say the beginning of your future.
And just like that, our time-traveling journey comes to an end. Does Spaceship Earth withstand the test of time as a must-do? Let's rank it and find out. I love that Spaceship Earth is located inside the icon of the park. I just feel like that is the coolest thing ever. I also love that it has such a rich history because it was an opening day attraction as well. I am just such a little nerd when it comes to those things, and I love all of the little details. I also love all of the iconic moments, from thanking the Phoenicians to the smell of Rome burning, and of course, everybody's favorite newspaper boy who is passionately yelling at a wall. However, I can also appreciate that the history of communication might not be the most interesting topic to you if you have no nostalgia for this ride. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to rank this a 5 out of 10 on the must-do scale. It hurts my heart, but it just has to be done. The good news is that every great story has to start somewhere, and maybe this is the start of yours. We have officially ridden all of the rides at Epcot, and I have tried to rank them as objectively as possible. But now it's time to spice things up. It's time to get personal. I'm gonna share my personal rankings for each ride at Epcot, and I'm gonna let my Disney-loving heart take control. Blasting in at number 10 is Mission Space, primarily because the only mission I'm on after riding it is to not feel dizzy for the rest of the day. Floating into the number 9 spot is The Seas with Nemo and Friends, a charming little swim, but it doesn't make enough waves to rank higher on my personal list. Living with the Land plants itself at number 8, a slow and steady journey through innovation and history, proving that only then will we be truly living with the land. Coming in at number 7 is Spaceship Earth. After all, without the Phoenicians, how would you be reading this list? Squeaking into number 6 is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, because between the adorable rat-shaped ride vehicles and my deep-rooted belief that I was French in my last life, how could I resist? Flying into number 5 is Journey into Imagination with Figment, because let's be real, the moon at the end is definitely the best thing in Epcot, and those songs will be embedded into your imagination forever. Sailing into number 4 is the Grand Fiesta Tour. It's a feel-good fiesta that always makes me want to dance and sing along. Soaring in at number 3 is Soaring Around the World, because you can smell your way around the world with these little beauties stored safely under your seat, of course. Nice work, pal. Don't worry, first-timers, you will be quoting the pre-show too before you know it. Sailing in at number 2 is Frozen Ever After. It's a whimsical ride straight from my Frozen dreams. My favorite thing is Olaf's flawless comedy and the storytelling. The entire ride is charming, catchy, and might just be enough magic to thaw even the iciest Frozen hater's heart. Grooving into my number 1 spot is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. As someone who loves the timeless classics, this ride is a cosmic curveball. But the smooth ride, thrill-packed moments, and epic tunes make it an absolute standout. That's a wrap on my EPCOT ride rankings. Let me know what your rankings are in the comments below, and let me know which park we should ride and rank in next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and to like it. A huge heartfelt thank you to my patrons who are the heart and soul of this channel. If you would like to join my Patreon or would like to follow me on socials, the links to all of that will be in the description below. Until next time, I'm Kenzie. See you real soon.